Now the first step is to take some measurements. So side to side, it's 4 feet 48 inches. The length is about 75 inches, so that's normal. We don't have to change that. Now here's my new mattress. It's full size, so it's a little bit over 4 feet. So I'll probably have to trim off 4 inches or so. So the first thing you're gonna do is take a seam ripper and just rip out all these stitches so you can take the springs out. So just go ahead and seam rip it all out. So once you rip the seams on the top and on the bottom, the side piece should be loose. So then what you can do is you're just going to pick a spot, maybe in the middle. Just cut it with scissors. Okay, so this mattress, it's got all these little staple wire things. So I'm just going to pull all these out so that the top piece will be freed from this foam. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull all these out. So now the top is free. So now I'm just going to go around, separate the top foam layer from the side and also the bottom. Here's the springs inside. I have to take off about 4 or 5 inches, so I'm going to measure it. So if I want to take off 4.5 inches, I have to remove two rows of springs, this row and this row. So I'm just going to take wire cutters and cut all these springs down here and up here. Taking out all the springs, just get whatever little leftover pieces you have. Take them out of there. The next step is to trim the foam. So since I took out 4.5 inches of the springs, I'm going to cut this back 4.5 inches. Also going to cut this piece 4.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut these back 4.5 inches. These should line up with the springs, and also this one up here. Now I'm going to trim the bottom back 4.5 inches. Now keep in mind it's not going to be up here, at least for this mattress, because it's 5.5 inches from the foam, so it'll be an inch away from the edge of this that I already cut. So make sure you don't cut it too far back or you won't have enough to stitch it. Before you trim the top, you're gonna have to take off this interfacing. So you're gonna have to pull out these stitches with a seam ripper. So now I'm gonna trim the top part. So I'm gonna measure 4.5. And I'm gonna leave a little extra. And I'm just gonna follow these patterns here. So I'll probably leave extra 1/4 inch or so to give me a little more seam allowance. And I'm just gonna follow these patterns here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cut a curve like the original. So you're just gonna cut that. Now you gotta stitch this all back together, basically like it is here. So you're gonna take this, put it underneath, squeeze it, and stitch all the way. You're getting near finished here. You're gonna figure out how much to remove of this. And then you're gonna cut it, leave an inch extra for a seam allowance. And then you're just gonna stitch down to get rid of all this extra bulk. Next step is to continue this stitch about an inch in from the edge, and that's going to catch on this underlayment, basically like this. The next step, at least for this mattress, is to glue these layers back together right here along the edge. Then this side piece of foam has to be glued back in here in this space. Now I'm going to pull on this and attach it to this foam here with glue and staples. All those little metal tacks are put back in, and this edge is overhanging from here. Next step is to start sewing this piece back up on the side. And so you're going to use this piece and stitch it around the edges like this. You're going to do that on the top and on the bottom with this. And then you're going to stop about in the middle. And then come do it on the other side. And come around and stop and you get to here. The next step is to sew these pieces together. So you're just going to fold this one back, and stitch it where my thumb is, right here. There we go. It's all finished. At the end it looks like this. This is the machine side. And this is the side that I did. It is in the bed. It's perfect.